So how we start this off anyway? So
I mean, technically we started it off.
He want to hijack the shit already.
Yeah, I want to hijack the show.
Wow.
No.
I want to make it the remix.
Yeah.
Definitely not doing that.
I'm gonna have all the inmates up here.
Oh,
all my
boy.
man and them come home from jail.
That's all right. They can watch it from Fort Dix, you know.
Yeah.
Run the views up.
Hey, listen, everybody got a phone in for this.
Everybody got to watch it on their own phone. That way it counts as each individual view.
They don't have no problem with that. It's crazy. Everybody got a phone.
Well, they ain't got shit else to do apparently. So
Yeah. I mean, jail is a place, it's a very lonely place.
Of course. I think that's
You know
the
what I'm
idea
saying?
behind it, right?
But jail with a cell phone, that shit can change your life. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, that's all the entertainment that a guy don't get while he in jail. Like, that's all. My first cell phone, I think I paid like $2,000 for it
In jail?
in jail. And it was like a fucking clam start, the clams back in the day, joint you
flip
pop up.
jar.
2,000. Matter of fact, it was a track phone. Then you had to buy minutes on.
Yeah, I remember
$2,000. Worth every dollar.
well, before you go too deep into the stories,
Go ahead.
we'll officially start the podcast off.
sir.
Welcome my father to the Man Cave podcast.
Thank you so much. Thank you
What
so much.
episode are we on now?
I think we just
lost
gonna
track.
step away from numbering the episodes, because we
I lost
record
track.
them and then they kind of get released as we need them to be released.
Right,
so,
Well, anyway,
giving them a name,
congratulations
a
on water
number.
bottle for you.
yeah,
Your
we
favorite.
appreciate
Thank
that.
you, thank you.
Larry's dad brought a bottle of Honey Jack just to congratulate the podcast. So definitely appreciate it. Uncle Jack's always welcome on the podcast.
Of course, but just so you know, only real men only drink the regular Jack. Honey Jack is for the shorties who want to turn up in the club.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, we know you don't drink whiskey, so you wouldn't know that.
Whiskey.
so-
I wouldn't know stuff like that.
Of course
I'm not
not.
an alcoholic, so I wouldn't know things to be particular about.
So what's that say about
That's a
Larry?
shot at me. That's a shot at me. For sure, that's a
No,
shot at me.
but to be honest, we have a long history of alcoholism in my family.
Yeah, same here.
My grandfather was an alcoholic. You know what I'm saying? All he did was drink liquor. I'm talking about all day, all night, like liquor. But they come from down south. So, the Southerners, the country thing is go to work, come home, pop the bottle, get drunk. Or wake up, pop the bottle, get drunk, go to work. You know what I mean?
Did you grow up down here or up here?
I grew up in Philadelphia, basically. But my upbringing, younger ages, like up until like I was like 13, 14, was basically my grandfather who was born and raised in North Carolina. Greensboro, North Carolina.
Okay.
And he brought all them ways to the city with them, with the farming and the dogs and, all of that stuff. And it's like, the gardening, all that was crazy.
But the city was kind of like still a city, right? So it was like, was it weird being at home with him and he's a down south, basically
Yeah.
black hillbilly, but then you got to go outside and you got all the city kids running around.
Right. I think that's when my life all went wrong at. Like, thinking about that stuff, like growing up in the teenagers, like this guy would wake me up like 5 a.m. Come on, let's go. Where we going? We going to Jersey to the garden. And it's like, bro, the garden. It's
How
fine.
old are you at this time?
I'm like 12, 13,
Okay.
like that.
Yeah.
And it's like, go to the garden. Go to the garden for what? Because we're going to, grow some, plants and food, stuff like that.
Okay.
And it's like, bro, it's like 5 a.m. It's still dark outside. It don't matter. Like, we hitting the road. We go straight to the horse stables on Parkside.
Been there.
And this guy is loading garbage bags of horse manure. We load up like 5-6 bags of horse shit, basically. I don't know, excuse my language.
Yeah, no, this is a family podcast.
Okay.
No, it's not. Say whatever the fuck you want to say.
So he loads up like 5-6 bags of horse manure, and we on our way to Jersey to start farming like 2 acres, like 1 acre or 2 acres of land. You know what I mean? And that's my beginning of growing up, learning, how to farm. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And it's like, this can't be life, though.
No.
Like, this can't be life. Because by the time you get there, it's about 6, 7 in the morning. Later on, the sunrise. By the time the sunrise, I'm thinking I'm back in slavery days. I'm out here farming land in this heat. I'm like, this shit is crazy.
In
It's crazy,
Jersey.
man. It's so crazy. Like, really farming, though.
Yeah.
Like, you really, you really plowing the land. You really dropping these seeds. You really digging your hand in this horse shit, spreading it across, the whole garden and field or whatever. And you learn things from that though.
Yeah.
It's definitely hard work. It's very vicious hard work.
So did you kind of turn to the streets as a way to like just not be in the house so much to deal with that?
I mean, you could say that, but like now, so you get to be a little older and you going to school and you starting to see people with nice things, and you want nice things. Everybody is like basically, in the teenager years now, everybody is like kind of like, new sneakers.
Yeah, so I mean, I guess that's really where your competitive aspect comes to play because you're kind of just dumped in a cesspool of all these people and all they ever do is compare one another to, you know what I mean?
Yeah, basically.
And if you don't have what they have, that upsets you.
Shit, it's like that today.
It's never going to change.
Yeah.
So because you wanted to chase what they had, is that you think kind of the motivation behind why you did what you did?
Yeah, basically. I can't even say so much of that, but like I remember sixth grade, graduating from sixth grade from elementary school. My Auntie Elaine, she was a big number writer at the time.
What's a number writer?
Where you write numbers. Before they had the deli number, like the lottery and all that, it used to be the street number. So, the politicians figured, why let the guys in the street make all the money off the numbers when we could get the Pennsylvania lottery?
Yeah, I remember that was a real thing. I remember my aunt, uncle, grandparents. There was the homie that would just come around the block and get everybody's numbers. Give them the gave him the cash. Right. He takes a cut. He go play the numbers for them. Right. Bring the numbers back.
I don't know if y'all ever seen a movie Hoodlum. Lawrence Fishburne.
No.
Good. Street must see. Okay. It's a street must see. Yeah. Watch that. And that was based on the number business was the biggest racket in New York City at one time. And this guy, black guy, Bumpy Johnson, went to war with the Italian mafia over the number business. That's how big it was. Right. So, growing up, I remember my sixth grade, my Auntie Lane, I graduated from sixth grade, my Auntie Lane rented me a limousine. Yeah, for my sixth grade graduation.
Oh, okay.
And that was it. After that, it was like, I got to have the top of everything from now on.
That sparked the
I got to, because the people was just like, I was like a celebrity, you know what I'm saying? In the sixth grade. Mm-hmm. That joint, he pulled that joint, right in front of the front door of the school. And everybody came out, and the teachers came out, the windows all tinted and all that. And everybody came out, I was like, who is this in a limousine? You know what I mean? And I hopped out that joint, and I had my cousin in them gold chains on. And that was it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That was it.
I'm sitting here laughing because, and we're gonna have to take this whole part out, but I'm sitting here laughing because you talk with your hand, which is cool, but you banging it on the table, and he'll have to edit all of the thumps out.
Yeah, all right, edit the thumps out.
It's gonna be a fucking horrible time, but it'll get done.
My bad.
No, you chill.
But anyway,
no, it's you're like the third person because when you don't podcast or you don't edit podcasts and you don't think about the raw audio that is involved, this is listening to everything. You know what I mean? And this is directly attached, essentially, think of it to the table. Okay. Any knock, all that's picked up on all of our mics.
Oh, really?
And then if I don't take it out or bring the volume of it down, somebody's listening to it in their car or have their headphones on, all they're hearing is boom, boom, boom.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And it's,
Think your fucking tire flat.
Yeah. So how do you go about, that's not a problem.
No, I'll figure it out.
No, I was just bringing it so you don't.
All right, so I know.
Yeah.
All right, but anyway, after that, I had to be a star. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So after that situation, and then, I feel as though like some people have personality addictions, like where you can get introduced to something, like money or business or anything, drugs, anything, and you become addicted to it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's
and I think that's one of the things that I had. Like once I seen that and how people reacted to somebody pulling up in a limo, certain things, it made me be like, I got to head the top.
Yeah, you wanted that lifestyle.
I got to head the top.
Yeah.
I got to head the top every time. I can't be out here without the top because it's not entertaining. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So after that, it was like, It was like, I was all with the making the money thing because if you're making the money, you could do what you want, wear what you want, have what you want.
Yeah.
And that was the key in the hood.
And then can I ask, so that now you see the finish line of what you wanted, right?
Right.
So the quickest and easiest way to get into that finish line was just to start selling drugs and do all that?
Basically, yeah, I would say that. So no, not actually, Ollie. In actuality, me growing up in the 80s, the drug game didn't transpire really to like, it had transpired, but not for me at my age, but it really transpired during like 87, 88 when the crack hit.
Okay.
That's when the drug game, like, it went to another level.
Yeah.
Like, it was out there before in the 80s and all that, but actually the Puerto Ricans in the Badlands had control over a majority of drugs, especially the coke and all that. They had that shit, like, it was crazy. Like, everything down to 8th from 5th Street to 8th from Butler, Blue Tape, they had that shit like crazy.
Yeah.
So, but my thing is, I started like selling weed. That's when weed was like, I grew up selling weed on 52nd and Market, nick bags of weed or whatever. That was the biggest thing for me as a young boy, was selling weed.
Was that as popular back then as it is now?
That's a good question. So it was like, it was only one weed. It was like Reggie.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah.
It wasn't 100 rounds allowed.
Right.
Everybody wasn't a drug dealer. It wasn't a whole lot of competition. It was like we went out there and we sold, we made our money off the weed. That was the early 80s.
And it was easy.
It was easy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And after that, like I had met my sister's boyfriend.
Okay.
And, the weed was cool, but I remember one day we was in the house and he came in the kitchen and he flashed the mid on me, like 10 grand. So you got to remember in the 80s, 10 grand then was like 100 grand then.
Yeah, for sure.
And
I mean, 10 grand now.
yeah, like
Show it to me. I'll be
yeah. So once he did that, he was like, "Yo, you want to make some money?" And I was like, what we gonna do? And he was like, we're gonna go take some money. I'm gonna show you. So we went out on these routes. Like we used to go Montgomery County, Delaware County, different places, and do different stems and steal cartons of cigarettes, VCH tapes, credit cards. That was the first hustle I really experienced coming up, growing up.
Okay.
Was that right there? You know what I'm saying? Because they taught you all the tricks and trades of making money.
Yeah.
Even before drug dealing really became profound. I'm talking about 84, 85. Because you got to remember, I was like 13, 14.
Yeah.
He took me out, showed me different things. And then I wound up getting popped.
How old?
Like 15.
Okay.
I wound up getting popped. We had this spot where we used to go and we used to steal ATM cards. So it was crazy though, but we talking about the early 80s.
Yeah.
So he used to say, "Yo, I'm gonna stand in line. When I give you the signal, go up there, hit the eject button, snatch the card and run." Crazy. It was crazy. Like, this is the shit we used to do.
Yeah.
Because, see, back then in the 80s and all, you couldn't pick up the phone,
Yeah, there was
call your bank,
Yeah.
and cancel your card.
Yeah.
So we used to stand there. I used to stand there. He'd give me the signal with the newspaper.
They
I
some
would
real
just go-
opportunists back in the day.
Yeah, I would just go to the machine, hit the jack button, snatch the car, and run.
Yeah.
But he would be standing in line behind the person like he was waiting to get in the machine, but he would actually get their code, their 4-digit PIN. And we would meet up, jump in the car, we'd go hit the ATMs. Every 12 hours, you get $400.
Yeah.
So we would do it on Friday nights. So by Monday, we had like $1,600 apiece. That was a good lick. Like I said, $1,600 back then was like 16,000.
Yeah.
Like you was up. I don't know what we was thinking or what he was thinking because he put me on the lick. But go to hit the lick, undercover police hiding in the driveway of the bank,
Damn.
waiting. I don't know what it was or something. Or he gave me the signal like something wasn't right. Goes to walk away. Montgomery County police locked me up. Take me down the station. Boom, 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 show me all these pictures. I'm like, damn. They got me dead. Like, the John people don't know. ATMs take pictures every 5 seconds. When you put the card in and you get to go, every 5 seconds they take a snapshot.
Yeah.
I'm right at the John. He got the picture. I'm dead, but
Looking dead at the camera.
I'm dead at the camera, baseball cap on and all that. But it's me.
Damn.
So he takes me out. But this time, I had took a guy with me that we grew up with. He kept saying, He wanted to make some money and do this, that, and other. I takes him with me. They catches both of us. We at Montgomery County Police Station. I see his mother walk past. I'm in there with the detectives and all that. So the detective finally come back in. He said, yeah, your buddy gave you up. I'm like, gave me up? What? I didn't do nothing. Like, I didn't even take the card on this lick. I was just there. He's like, yeah, well, you know, this, that, and other. So I give him an alias and all that. They call my family. It locks me up. They take me to Montgomery County. I go lay. I lay it down. So the kid that was with me, we grew up together, he kept begging me to go on licks to get some money. But he goes up there, he breaks under pressure by his mom. Tells on me.
Damn.
Yeah, so I get booked. They tell on me. Months later, no, they let me out. I gets out. We found another lick. This time it's the night depository. It's like 30 bands. This is my big score.
Yeah.
I'm 15, but this is my big score. It's like 30 bands. We pull up at the bank. We looking for a lick. Guy comes out. Big dude, track star. He comes out. He got the money bag for the depository. He going into the bank. This guy, my sister's boyfriend, he give me a signal like, yo, there go the money bag right there. Mm-hmm. It's the day of a hurricane. It's blizzard outside. It's crazy. We're out Hartford Township. So I said, this dude is like, white dude. He like 6'4", ripped, tennis sneakers on. I'm like,
you're ready for trouble.
I'm like, yo, this boy, like, I'm like, man, I'm gonna go. Like, I'm gonna get that junk.
Yeah.
But I'm a little dude. He don't peep it. He walking down the street, he swinging the bag. It's a brown bag with a lock on it, got the zipper.
Ain't nobody gonna fucking try me. Like,
Yeah, basically. He going this way, I'm coming this way. I come across the lot. As soon as I get to him, I let him step one step behind me, one past me. I turn, give me that joint. I'm going straight through the parking lot. I don't know if I stunned or what. He don't give up chasing nothing. I goes, I runs, I jump in the car. We out. Whole police force is out this day because of the blizzard. This dude pulls the car over. Never believe this. It's like the shit out of the movie. This dude jumps out the car, runs over to the police car and says, a guy in my back seat just robbed somebody.
no.
On everything I love?
So that happens. I imagine you go back to jail.
Straight back to jail.
So
And get 2 for 2 for being ratted on.
Right.
Bro.
Why not stop there? Why keep
I'm
going?
15, bro. I don't understand at this time.
What was your state of mind after that second situation?
No, listen. I'm too young to even realize that people telling on me. I don't even realize. Like, the rat game ain't even about ratting at the time. I'm 15. I don't even realize really what's going on. I'm just out here on the money. I get booked. This time they detain me. Yeah. I go to Delaware County. They ain't let me out this time. Mm-hmm. They give me a year at Glen Mills. Juvie. Yeah. They give me a year to go to Glen Mills. So I'm like, I'm still not realizing, you know, what life is about, because I think, like, even with the juveniles today, sometimes they don't realize, you don't realize what you're doing, what's going on, because you kind of like ain't figured out life and how things work yet. Yeah. So I get up Glen Mills, 12 months. I'm up there. I do a couple months. I'm on chills, though. But now I'm starting to educate myself about people, because I get to Glen Mills, and it's all 52 states. Mm-hmm. And that's the most surprising thing. I'm near Baltimore, D.C., L.A., New York. And I'm like, damn, I'm here with the whole United States. So now you're starting to meet other people. Yeah. There's juveniles that's arrested. It's like the juvenile feds is what I call it. Because now everybody is there. Mm-hmm. So you're getting to learn different things, you know. And I do my 12 months. Well, before I get to do my 12 months, the judge said you got to get a GED before you can even come home or whatever. You're not coming home. Matter of fact, I missed my date because I fucking failed the GED test by like 3 points or something. Yeah. And they come to me like, no, you're not getting released, bro. You got to get that GED. You can't leave till you get the GED. I'm like, bro, I failed by 3 points. They're like, listen, this is what we're going to do for you. We're going to let you take it over, the section that you failed, try to, you know, get your points or whatever so you can get released. Go back, I take it over, I pass it, I get my GED. They're like, all right, you out here. Now, this is how young and dumb I am. So as I get back to the town, I get back to the streets, Same boy that jumped out the car.
Ain't no way.
Same boy, bro. Same boy. My sister boyfriend. Same boy. He like, bro, game changed. We ain't doing that shit no more. This what it's about. Pulls out a knot of money and a knot of coke. He like, bro, we got posts all through the town. We getting money. He pull up. He in a brand new 325 BMW.
They have you hypnotized with the bread. Every time they wanted you to do something, just pulled out a stack and you was in.
Every time. Pulls out the stack. He in a brand new 325i BMW. Nobody in the hood. It's only other two, like 2 or 3 cats that got BMWs, Audis, and Broncos and all that. Boy, pull up. He got a brand new 325, all white with momos on it.
Yeah.
I'm like,
he doing something right in your
I'm
head,
like,
right?
bro, I'm amazed by this shit.
Yeah.
But I had already read in Glen Mills, I seen a Time magazine, and they had a crack vial on it. And they was talking about New York City. Shit was off the meter. So I get back to the town. He's like, look, we got 2 posts already right here. I ain't worried about nothing. Just handle the money, handle the bread, handle the work, stay on top of the workers. I jumps right back in the game.
Would you say this was like the start of kind of like leading up to your bid, like your
Definitely.
What was like your life like? Were you staying at home or were you just kind of? Like
I was still at my grandmother's.
Okay, so you
Basically.
just bouncing in and out.
Yeah, been in and out.
Okay.
So now I come out and I see this situation. You know, these boys, there was a couple boys, like 3 or 4 boys in my neighborhood. Brand new cars, Audi 5000, nobody got. Bronco, nobody got.
Yeah.
BMW, nobody got. You know, they getting this money. So now I'm like, you know, I need them. You know what I mean? They put me straight on because they know I'm a hustler. And now we get into this dollar. We get into this bread. They give me a post. I'm running the post. Now I start to see, you know, you don't make $3,000 a day at no job. Back then. Like I said, $3,000 a day back then in the drug trade, that was some bread.
Yeah.
And I'm come off in the juvie like that. You know, not the cash, we moving it. But at the time, this still early 87, we still selling powder.
How long was your once the last time you went to jail, how long was that sentence? Like, was it 17 or 18 years? How long
My
was it?
sentence was 18 years.
18 years. And once they said that, did you post bail?
No, ain't no bail.
No bail.
Ain't no bail on RICO. Ain't no bells on RICO with violence. Everybody go to jail.
And when you hear that, what was your first thought?
Well, see, when they came to indict me, you got to remember, I was already upstate doing 5 to 10 for a shooting, for attempt.
So you weren't even out when they picked you up?
No, with the federal, not with the federal case. I was already in jail I pled guilty to a 5 to 10 upstate.
Okay.
For somebody. I gave this dude some work, and he ducked out on me, and he ain't want to pay. I finally found out where he was at, went to the crib, waited for him, attempted to kidnap him, but the clown that I had with me, he foiled the play. Yeah, he foiled the play. Yeah, back then,
by a bunch of dickheads, low key.
basically.
Like,
It's crazy because the night before we went down there, I cased the joint out. I'm like, boy, be here tomorrow. He ain't here tonight. But I always catch him on an early bird. Yeah. I done did this 100 times. He owed me $21,000. I want every dime of it. I want every dime of that money. I get there the next morning. He gone already. I miss him. So I'm like, we're going to wait. We're going to wait. Mm-hmm. He finally pulls up, brand new Benz. Probably he done bought with my bread. He pulls up, brand new bed, jumps out. He don't even see me. I'm tucked in the joint on the side of the joint. He gets out the car. I pulls out. I walks up on him. Bro, hand them keys over. Mm-hmm. He tries to pull out. He got a gun on him. Yeah. So I hits him with my gun. My man, we rushes him. We takes the gun he got. Mm-hmm. When he realized the situation, he like, take the car. I tell my other man, go ahead, take the car, bro. I'll meet you back out west. So now me and the boy on the sidewalk, I'm like, how you thought that was gonna go? Like, where my money at? Yeah. He trying to talk me around the situation, whatever. So now at the time, this is why I don't get high. At the time, I'm messing with that syrup and the pills. I ain't even high this day. but I was high the day before. He talks to me like he got some bread in the house that he gonna give me right now. But I'm high. I'm not thinking. I done already took his burner. I walks him back in the house. We gets in the house. He like, I got you. He goes in the house. But who does this unless somebody go in the house? He goes in the house, the broad that he's with, gives him another burner. He runs back downstairs with the gun out, talking about call the boy, tell him to come get my bring my car back. I'm looking at him like, you serious? I'm looking at him like, you serious? You gonna try to play this game? Before I could go like this, he shot me 6 times. He airs me out. Shot me 6 times. With a net-ass 25 automatic. I finally backs up into the door. I bounces off the door. I get my gun out. And now I start shooting him. I got him on the ground now. I'm about to... Because I'm already delirious from him shooting me.
Yeah.
The gun jams. My arm not moving no more. My arm don't work. I'm clicking the jaw. I'm trying to get the jaw to unjam. I only got one hand. Gun jams. I turn around. We leaving out. His girl done called the police. I'm like...
So you shot and you going to jail.
Shot and going to jail.
Double L.
We get to the... Now, he follows me out to the elevator. We're in an apartment building downtown. I go stand at the elevator. Me and this nigga arguing. Because I'm telling him, like, bro, you be dead right now if this gun ain't jammed. He's like, yo, I just want my car back. I'm like, bro, you're never getting the car back. I'm waiting on all this conversation happening. I'm waiting on the elevator to come up.
Yeah.
We on like the 13th floor or something. Elevator door pop open. Nothing but the police. Guns drawn. Everybody on the ground. I tell them, yo, somebody just robbed me and my man. Y'all letting them get away. They went down the fire escape. They're like, everybody on the ground. I got the gun in my hand. But my thing is, like again, somebody just tried to rob me and my man.
Yeah.
And they went down the fire escape, bro. They locks us up. Get to the hospital.
They was like, we don't give a fuck what you say.
Yeah, we don't give a fuck what you say. You're going to jail. Just to the hospital. I'm in critical. The jaw punches my lung. Went through my arm, went through my chest, punching my lung. It got tubes and shit ran all down my throat. So I'm sitting there like, man, I'm going to die. So they're like, you got any police coming there? You want to make any statements and that? I said, no, I'm going to die just like this. I'm going to die just like this. They like, you cool. You going to make it. Tubes sucking the blood. When you get your lung punctured, it's like crazy because the blood rushes to your stomach and you can't breathe. But I really thought I was going to die that day because I couldn't breathe. So comes around, come back to life 3 times. I'm back at it. So I'm sitting there.
Okay, Jesus.
Yeah, I'm back to life. I'm sitting there, I'm in a hospital bed. No visits, no nothing. Handcuffed to the bed. Yeah. Now I'm really mad. I've been in this joint for like a week. So I'm arguing with the hospital people. I'm like, listen, y'all gotta let me see my mother, my grandson. Somebody gotta come up here and see me. So finally they let me get a phone call. I called my lawyer. Bro, get up here, bro. I'm in this joint for like a week. No visit. I don't have no contact, no phone, nothing. They won't give me nothing. Gets the lawyer up there. I give him everybody's number. I tell him, look, that's the situation, man. Just get me out this hospital. Give me a bond. He's like, I got you. He trying to keep me at the hospital for longer, but I'm like, I don't even want no more medical treatment. Yeah. At this point, I've been there for like a week and a half. I don't even want medical treatment no more. They're like, you don't want medical treatment? They're like, no. They was like, why did I say that? Bro, they takes everything off of me, takes me downstairs in a wheelchair, throws me straight in the paddy wagon, bro.
Yeah, that shit was keeping you out of jail.
I'm shot up and everything. Now I'm in pain. They takes me straight to 8th and Race. No medication, no nothing. Yeah. So I get over 8th and Race.
That's still with the precinct?
No, 8th and Race, but the roundhouse back then.
Okay.
That was like a big cesspool.
Okay.
You in that joint for 3 days, cheese sandwiches and water. That's just vicious, like vicious. Only thing good about that joint is a phone on the wall. Mm-hmm. That's the only thing. I jump straight on the phone, call my folks. Situation.
And what are they saying? What's the family saying?
The family is trying to figure out what happened. I'm telling them the play went bad. The play went all the way bad. It went left. But now that I'm thinking, as I got older and all that, I tell dudes, don't do drugs, bro. Yeah. You can wake up and do some things off of drugs, you wake up and your whole life would be in a bad situation. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's how I look at my life. I was cool back then, and still I started doing certain things, and that shit it affects your brain. You can't think. Because I would have never made that play. It would have never went like that if I was thinking like I've been thinking through the game. I had never been arrested to them. Never. My whole criminal career, I had never been arrested as an adult to them. So when that thing went bad, I goes to jail. I get my bond. They give me like $100,000 bond. My folks on deck, they bail me out, come home. Situation, it's a new situation. Get to this witness. Get this shit straightened out. Give him that nut-ass car. Tell him to fuck out of here. Tell him to get the fuck out the city. Give him that stupid-ass car. After this case over, we'll deal with all that. Goes to fucking court, man. Got my man there. One of the chicks that he used to deal with that was close with, gives her the car, gives her the fucking title, gives her the key. This weirdo, you know what he does? He goes, takes this shit to the DA. Gets me rearrested on a tampering with a witness.
Damn.
Locks me back up on my court date. Back in jail. This shit is getting weird. What's up with these people with this running to the DA's office situation? They got the press on. Because my relations with certain people in the organized crime thing, they got the press on. They want us off the street. They're going to do whatever they got to do to get us off the street. They're going to do whatever they got to do. Yeah. They're going to cut all corners.
They're trying to make an example out of you.
Yeah, basically. Yeah. So, boom, they books me again. Gives me another bail, $25,000. Go pay that. I get back out again. So now I'm to wit's point with the whole situation. Boy, like, man, send message. I'm not coming to court. You ain't got to worry about it. You ain't got to worry about it. Don't worry about it. All right, cool. I let it ride out. Goes back to trial again. He don't show. We pressing the courts. Must be tried, 30 days. Goes back to court again. He's there. He pops up like toast. He like toast. I'm there. I'm like, I can't believe. He pops up like toast, bro. I'm there. I'm so mad. The girl that I had was a witness. She don't show. Because my thing is, now, after talking to the lawyer, they like, we got it out for you. I'm like, what's the out? They're like, it's a shootout with you and him. He got a gun. He shot you. You shot him. What's the dispute? He's saying it was some money. I'm saying it was the check. So my play was, I'm going to trial, but my witness don't show up. Right. The chick don't show up. She sell me out. I get to trial. I'm looking stupid. She don't show up. So the lawyer like, what you want me to do? I'm like, man, at this point, I'm done with everything. I'm just fed up. I'm stressed. I'm fed up. I'm just stressed. I said, what's on the table? They like 12 and a half to 25. I'm like, nah. Ain't doing 12 and a half to 25 on this joint. He like, I'm going to work the numbers. I'm like, work it. He comes back. He like, yeah, I'm giving you 5 to 10, bro. I had you in a halfway house 3.5 years. I'm looking at the situation. I'm like, got a couple of hours. We got some property. We did some things. I think I can retire this jersey on that 3.5 number. I'm gonna go lay down, get my mind right. I come back out. I might do it all over again. I takes the plea. No, nothing. You go straight up state. You go straight up state from there. Mm-hmm. Right after the plea. They drag me straight out the courtroom. Gets upstate. I'm upstate like 9 months. I call home. Call my man on 3-way. He like, yo.
What was the plea for? For how long?
5 to 10.
Okay.
Upstate.
Gotcha.
I mean, you do 5 years parole. Okay. I can live with that. I got some bread. I got some property. Yeah. I did some things. I lived good. So I'm like, this is the price you pay. I'm going to go do this little nut-ass 5 to 10. I'll see y'all on the rebound. Okay. I'll be back out. So I get upstate. I'm up there 9 months. Call home. It's Sunday. I talk to my man, Rich. I'm like, what's up? He like, you're John all on the front page of Daily News. I'm like, what's all on the front page of Daily News? He was like, it's an indictment. You've been indicted. It's all on the front page of Daily News. I'm like, bro, I'm in jail. I can't be indicted. He like, bro, it's all on the news. You getting indicted.
What did it say? What was the headline?
Headline is 36 indicted for distribution of narcotics on the JBO. Mm-hmm. So in my mind is, how can I be indicted? I'm already in jail. What do
You've
you?
been booked for 9 months now.
I've been booked for 9 months. I ain't did nothing. You know what I mean? So I calls my grandmother's. She said the same thing. It's all over the news. You got indicted. This, that, another. So I said, no, they indicted the wrong guy. That's another Larry Brown. Couldn't be me because I'm already in jail doing time. You know what I mean? Yeah. Doing my time. They like, no, they got your picture as you. So I'm like, here we go all again. So like 3 days went past. My counselor called me. He like, pack up. You going to court. I'm like, bro, y'all got the wrong guy. They like, no, it's you. We got your name, number, your social, birthday, and everything. I'm like, all right, cool. Packs up, take me down to, they taking me to Greatest. At the time, I'm at like Greensboro. They taking me down to Greatest. So I get on the bus. When I get to Smithville, the transit spot, everybody is there. All my co-defendants. There's like 20-something people already there. So I'm like, I'm trying to figure out like how this situation worked. I didn't deal with the state, but I never dealt with the feds. Right. So everybody going in different bubbles. So they finally put us all in one bubble to go to Greatest, state institution or whatever. So we get to sit down, figure out what's going on. So my guy, he like basically explained the situation. Like basically the feds been on us. They've been trying to indict us. And this is the situation. But I'm like, I'm already in jail. Like, what are you talking about? They want more jail? They're like, yeah, they want more jail. So I'm like, all right, it is what it is. We get on the bus, we go to Greatest. We get to Greatest. Sit there. The next day we come. You going on court. You going on writ. Pack out again. So now we get on another. We go to Sallyport, and this shit's starting to look weird, like some movie shit. I looks out there. They got 3 vans, federal vans, and they got the U.S. Marshals and the FBI all outside the jail, like holding M16s and shit, right?
Damn.
So I'm like, man, this shit is getting crazy. This shit getting crazier by the day. But I keep telling the COs, no, they got the wrong guy going to court.
You still playing that card. They not told you that now.
Bro, no, bro, this is not for me, bro. You got the wrong guy. Yeah. You got the wrong guy. You keep taking the wrong guy to these court dates. So I'm looking at the shit. They put us in 3 vans, hit the sirens, and now they got 2 cars. They got a car in the front and a car in the back. So they blow every light from Greatest to 6th and Market. Take me in a tunnel, because I had never been there at that time to the situation. So I get down there, I'm asking them, what is all this for? Like, y'all having a parade, and Muppets parade today or something? Like, what is all these cops and all this for? Yeah. They talking about, no, we heard it was going to be a big escape today from the correctional institution. So I said, who's going to escape?
Larry Brown.
I'm like, who's going to escape? Like, what? Where they escaping from? Yeah. You got shackles on my legs. You got cuffs with a box. You got M16. You got all these people. Who's escaping? Yeah. They said, we're just making sure. I said, all right, no problem. So we get down there, give everybody an indictment, get the John, start turning pages. I don't see me in here. I don't see my name in here. Mm-hmm. I get to a certain page, like page 70. Larry Brown on such and such date served 9 kilos to this guy, this, that, and the other. And I'm like, my sister's boyfriend. The same guy.
So he got you locked up 3 times, basically.
He got me locked up twice. Same guy. Under the cooperation of drug enforcement agencies.
He's still your sister boyfriend at the, like...
Huh?
And he's still your sister boyfriend?
When?
After all this. They still together? No, back then I'm talking about. He done locked you up twice. They still together?
No.
Okay. I was about to say, like, what the fuck?
At the time, you know what's crazy though? Some more movie stuff. I get a call one day. Close friend of mine's family or whatever. This was when I was on the street. I kind of like figured out the situation. Then they had called me. It was like, he wanted to talk to me. He was upgraded for the state prison. He was like, you want to talk to me?
Yeah.
This guy. And he was like, yo, tell him to go to a phone that's clean. I want to talk to him. I got some information I want him to hear. Now, this was when I was on the street. I was on the bell for the shooting, out on the bell. Yeah. So he like, finally gets on the phone to septic collecting on it. He like, yo, you served the undercover informant some coke or whatever. So I'm like, what? What are you talking about? He was like, man, you served the undercover informant. They got the shit recorded and everything. So I'm like, who the fuck? Like, what are you talking about? I couldn't figure out what he was talking about at the time. But I finally pinpointed the situation. He actually told me that the guy, my sister's boyfriend, was working with DEA, and I had served him coke. And the only way he could have knew that was one, if he was an informant or he had some type of relationship with the guy.
Yeah.
So kind of like at that point, I knew it wasn't good. But what I couldn't figure out, being younger back then, you really didn't understand how the federal government worked. Because at the time, we talking about 1990, the federal government used to like target guys like the mob, the racketeering, this, that, and other. At that time, they really wasn't targeting younger drug dealers and certain things. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So when he was like, this the feds, this, that, and other. So speed forward, I get down there, I get the indictment, I read through it, go to the page, this guy in there, say he was cooperating with the DEA. I sold him the drugs, this, that, and other. While I'm reading the indictment, 2 agents come down, call me out, like, let me speak to you. So I goes over, he like, you only doing the 5 to 10. You want to help yourself? And I'm like, I'm going to help myself how? Like, you got cheesesteaks down here with fries and, like, sodas, Pepsi? He's like, yeah, but in order to get that meal, you're going to have to, what you got to do. I said, man, I'm not.
I love how they do that.
I said, I'm not that. I'm not that guy.
Get a bag of food in front
He said, listen.
How
he said,
hungry are
listen, you only doing 5 years. Mm-hmm. They said, we're gonna have you out. Like, we're gonna have you out immediately. You only doing 5 years. You ain't got no time. But he said, I guarantee you. He said, this is the nails in the JBM coffin. He said, you sure you good? I said, yeah, man, I'm good. And they walked away. And I never forget them words, though. He said, these are the nails in the JBM coffin. Yeah. And I said, damn, this is crazy. I said, this probably is the nails. I wonder if he got a nail gun or he's using a hammer. But this is a wrap.
Well, he definitely used the hammer.
Yeah.
How old were you when that happened?
I just turned 21.
You just turned 21. So
yeah.
You did 18 years as a 21-year-old.
Yeah.
How do you think like you survived? Like being like you were young as hell.
I know, but I look at it like I've always looked at it like I looked at it back in the day when we was hustling. Like only the celebrities did the shit that we was doing and lived like we did. Like when we was out there hustling, the rappers looked up to us. Like the guys that used to come to me, like trying to get me to invest in record labels and the rappers and all them. I looked at them like they was clowns, basically. Mm-hmm. Cause it's like, what do you know what I mean? Like it was the 80s, like, and Philly really wasn't popping too heavy with the music, you know what I'm saying? Until like Will Smith, like I think the first I think it was like Schoolie D, and then Will Smith came around, and he jumped out. He jumped out with a couple. They getting money now. Mm-hmm. I start seeing them pull up in Benzes and Vets and all that. But before that, we had all that. We had all the Benzes, all the Vets, we had all the cars and we had all the girls. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it was like when they used to come with that stuff, like, you know what I mean? We was the celebrities at that time. Like we was the real celebrities, you know what I mean? Really, the real estate was my play. Because during like my juvenile days, when I got out on my juvenile days, I had attended this school. It was called the Delaware Valley School of Trades. And I was taking up building renovations. And that was going to be my out too. Like, and again, I looked at it like, if I could get this money and buy these properties, then I would be cool. You know what I mean? But like when you're at a young age like that, it's a lot of it's a lot of thin lines with a whole lot of stuff.
Because you don't know everything.
Yeah, you don't know everything. And ain't no internet, ain't no YouTube, ain't no Google.
So you can't look it up.
You got one brain.
Right.
And you got a couple dudes around you that know some stuff.
Right.
So I'm looking at the old heads, they getting buildings, they getting real estate, they getting houses. So I'm looking at that, I could do that. So I had a little experience from Delaware Valley School of Trades. And I started, getting the properties or whatever, putting them together or whatever. But then, again, the feds came and they ruined my party, bro. Like they can't even ruin my party with the sentence. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
With the whole indictment thing. And I told him, I kept telling him, it's not me. You got the wrong guy. Yeah. Like, you know how many Larry Browns in the city? Like, you got the wrong guy.
We had a coach named Larry Brown. That was the coach of the Sixers.
It could have been him at the time. You know what I'm saying? But it was like, no, they was like, no, we got people that's going to testify to the fact that it was you.
So when you got booked for the 18, right? Obviously, you're not thinking, this is it. You have to come up with a plan for those 18 years and then afterwards, right? Like, when you was in there, what were you trying to figure out how to do or come up with a strategic plan to fix your life when you get out of prison?
You know what the crazy part about that is? Like going from the streets to the penitentiary, I had already, I used to go see my comrades on regular visits or whatever, the ones that already was booked or whatever, and send them packages, care packages, whatever. So my whole thing was always stay in tune. So I used to go to the prison like once a month or get a girls cars and money and stuff to go to the prison.
Okay.
Because believe it or not, like Greatersford was like a world of its own. Like this joint was like if you had bread, you was gonna live good. Yeah. Like you was gonna live good. So my whole thing is like I ain't come here to be just another inmate.
Right.
I ain't come here just to be another inmate. I come in here this joint to live good. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna come in this joint, we're gonna see what it's hitting for, and we're gonna do this time comfortably.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that was the whole twist because it's like when you somebody on the street, when you go to jail, depending on what type of person you is, you're gonna be somebody in the jail. So if you got a couple of hours, you got a couple of connections, I wanna make this bit comfortable.
Yeah.
I want my folks to be comfortable on the street. I wanna be comfortable in here. And whatever's necessary to do, that's what we're gonna do. Okay. So it's like, you thinking, like people say, oh, this person going to jail, this doesn't. But now you going into another whole business entity where you just in here doing more criminal shit, making more money.
Yeah.
And that's what be crazy about it.
Did you get some kind of degree or certification while you was locked up?
I got a PhD in
out.
criminology. If that's the word. Because, listen. It's different levels of education.
Of course.
You got juvenile, county jail, state jail, and federal jail. Each stage of jail, you get a different degree. That's what people don't know. Like you in a county, that shit you just playing. You get upstate, that's more like the muscle, broad, niggas ain't thinking. These niggas up there, they on some nut shit. West Philly, South Philly, North Philly, that bullshit. They on that bullshit.
Yeah.
You get into the feds, now you into an international realm. When I say internet, everybody there. The governors, the mayor, the accountants, Enron, the mafia, the Mexican mafia, the Jamaicans, the Cubans, everybody there. So now you're starting to see, now this is a whole bigger world that you never knew existed. So now you're starting to get educated on everything. And one thing I like about the feds, when you get to the feds, now you at that higher level where you're starting to meet the real players in the world that was really getting money.
Yeah.
Like the real people, like I said, Enron guys, and
Because feds ain't coming after you unless you're making that real money.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. And I kept telling them that. I'm like, I wasn't getting no money. Why y'all keep bothering me? I wasn't getting I'm nobody. And then a dude taught me something that I never knew. He said, that's like these dudes now, they do anything for clout. He said the same way with the feds. They come and lock certain people up, put your picture on TV. That's how they get their clout.
Facts, actually. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you never look at it like that, but they get promotions behind their clout.
I mean, it's their job.
The same way you try to build your record on the street, they try to build their same record.
I respect it, So the business aspect, you go there in the feds. One thing I like about the feds, dudes highly educated. They can teach you things. So they done away with all the school in the feds and the state and all that. They done away with all that. So these dudes in the feds actually came up with their own budget, their own money, and the feds gave them a classroom at a time every day where they can meet and teach you business based on their own pockets, based on your own situation. So you had dudes that was there that would come and dedicate their time, no pay, no nothing. All they had is classroom. You bought your own pen and paper, and they would teach you about business every day. And it was crazy because when I first went, I took it as, I didn't take it serious.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But when I got in there, I met some of these dudes that work on the stock exchange and worked at Enron and all these different places that was teaching these classes. It made me realize that these dudes is really, they educated on another level of business. You know what I'm saying? Right. That you would never meet as an average person in the hood. You're not going to meet these type of people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But because they in these situations, that's how they call themselves giving back to, society or the system or whatever. So, I had a lot of good teachers in the system that highly educated. They sharp. Right. You know what I mean? There was some sharp dudes in there. And so when you get into the feds, that's a whole nother ball game where you like preparing yourself to go back in society on some business type stuff.
Yeah.
But in the state, it's just like a bunch of savages.
Yeah. So when you now you educated yourself while you was in jail, right? You've planning on how to change what you're doing,
right?
And correct everything and live your life the right way,
right?
When you got out, I mean, what was that process like? Just trying to undo what you already done and trying to build yourself in a new society the way that everything. 18 years is a long time.
Right,
Things have changed dramatically.
I just look at it like when you got good folks. Mm-hmm. And they hold it down, that's the benefits of situation. And I feel as though that's a good situation. That's the benefit of being a good person when you're on the street hustling. You know what I'm saying? You on the street hustling, you taking care of everybody. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. I need want a new car, huh? What you want? They want the house remodeled, huh? You taking care of everybody. You making sure everybody on the street cool. You making sure your folks cool. So when something go wrong,
you got their support.
I'll tell you, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Situation, we hit. We need to do this, that, and other. We need to do that. And you hoping that people reciprocate that love from when you was hustling and you took care of everybody.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You got to invest in the right people so you get in them situations, the bad situations, you got people that you can call on. Because I go in the system and I see people, they was getting a lot of money and they was doing a lot of things, people that was millionaires. And it's like, bro, you can't make commissary this week. You can't call nobody or your folks. You know what I mean? They X'd you out to that point. It's get crazy after years.
Yeah.
Like people really turn their back on people. They really rob people, your own family. You know what I mean? It's crazy. Like, it just get crazy. Like, it's just really crazy.
So when you got out, why did you choose to start businesses for yourself? Why not like go out and get a job as a contractor or, whatever you had picked up while you were inside? Why be an entrepreneur?
I look at it like, and some dudes always used to say in business class, the first day he said this, it's like 30 of us in the classroom in the fest. He like, everybody in here is a great entrepreneur who sold drugs or whatever they did to get money. There's guys in here that made millions selling drugs. Mm-hmm. Y'all all great entrepreneurs. But y'all lack one thing. And I'm like, what's that? He said, the educational part about business that was needed to go into the legitimate aspect of business. You selling drugs, you're an entrepreneur.
Yeah. You
can make money on the legitimate side only if you understand the legitimate aspect of making a business for yourself. So that always stuck with me.
So you took the skills that you had developed selling drugs and just replaced the drugs and kept the same skills and just built it that way.
Built it that way. It's the same thing. Like a lot of guys don't understand. If you can sell drugs, then you can almost sell anything. I look at it like, especially in certain areas, it's all about how you promote yourself, And that's what a lot of people, like I tell all people, like even with your kids and all that, when they get a certain age, get them to understand finance, money, and business. And that's one thing of the things I think, matter of fact, that's one thing I need you to do, y'all too. I need to step to the Philadelphia Board of Education and tell them that y'all need to implement. Like when I was in class, they had economics and all that. But kids need to understand the aspect of business because a lot of them be dumbfounded. You give a kid, so I give my son some money, he just go blow all the money. Like,
why do we need to do that?
Why do y'all need to do that?
Yeah, why do we need to go and do that?
No, I mean
because I don't have enough time to do it myself. So
no,
I need y'all to do it.
We've had a brief conversation before about it. Just the idea that the public education system doesn't teach people how to manage money. They don't teach them how to build themselves financially.
I just feel as though like when you hit the 7th grade, you start to try to find your identity.
Yeah.
And find out who you is. And if you don't know about money, at a certain age, you don't know nothing.
Facts.
I look at grown people, call me for apartments and rooms. You 65, you 70, you want to rent a room. So I'm looking at your situation like, bro, what was you doing for the last 50 years? Why
So
you ain't got a house?
Judging old people like,
Why bro?
I'm fucking around.
Like, what was you doing?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
My grandmother bought her house for $12,000.
But you know how, you could blame those people for not building themselves up if you want, but somebody like a minority that fully understands finances and can successfully build themselves up, that's a rarity. That's not a common thing.
You think so?
100%. And the difference is like your household. Like most times, minorities are growing up, single parent household, whatever. Or if you're an immigrant, maybe your family comes over, they have little or nothing. They don't really understand how the economy over here works, or maybe they do. But I know in my situation, I didn't have anybody in my house to teach me about credit or about money. You know what I mean? Like as opposed to some of my coworkers, that's all they talk about at dinner is we're gonna invest in this, we're gonna do this.
But what about the books I sent you from jail?
As a what 6-7 year old?
Yeah, you was supposed to be reading. Like this guy,
like
I'm sending this guy
like family therapy session.
I think I need to because you said you had nobody educating you. All I did was send you business books.
I mean,
that's all you sent me?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, let's redirect it.
Yeah.
We are going to try to wrap it up. So what I want to do is give you, if you could give advice to younger men who are somewhat following in your old footsteps, right? They think the only way I can make money, the finish line, is to have the flashy jewelry, to have the nice car, right? A lot of men think the same way, right? That's what they want. And they're going to follow the path that you follow to try to get to that finish line. If you can give advice to younger people who have that thought process, what would you tell people to try to divert them from following the same mistakes that you fell into?
I mean, talk to somebody who you trust that can educate you on business. Now with the internet stage and, Google and YouTube, it's a lot of information out there. Like, I use that tool myself. Mm-hmm. Like, I would never pay a consultant. I can go right on YouTube, type in what I want to know, or Google it and find out what I need to find out. Yeah. But I'm just saying, educate yourself is about constantly being determined and driven to educate yourself on different things that can help you build wealth. Okay. That's the key. Okay. The drug game that shit is over. That shit it's a wrap for that. The money is into capitalism, and entrepreneurism. That's the key right there.
Yeah, I mean, once the government was like, shit, we selling weed, that's when you probably stop. You should probably stop.
Nah, but I will say, like, my dad's greatest attribute and something I've kind of learned from, like, being around him and working with him is, like, his tenacity and not taking no for the first answer. Like, I worked with him a little bit when I was younger, and, he'd send me on these, what I thought were dummy missions. And, it might seem like that at first because, like, when you're talking to these people at offices or businesses, whatever, they're saying, oh, we can't do that, or, oh, we don't do that here, or, oh, you call in the wrong department, whatever. Yeah. And I go back to him, I'm like, listen, this is what they said. I don't know how to get around this. He's like, all right, well, figure it out. And that's literally what I learned how to do was, like, all right, I hear a no, but then I look for the answer somewhere else, or I learn to ask the question in a different way so that I can get the information.
So it helped you develop problem solving skills.
Right. 100%.
Right. And that's the key.
Okay.
That's the key. Okay. I always call it problem solution equation. And I never was good at geometry. But if you have a problem and you're trying to come figure out what the solution is, this is another equation in all actuality.
Yeah.
You got the problem, figure out how to fix it.
look, I just want to thank you for coming on. Like I said, we're gonna try to wrap it up. We're over an hour. We usually try to keep it within the 60 minutes.
Right.
But a lot of what you said, I mean, I enjoyed the story. I hope that what you said in the end or even throughout can help educate somebody else.
Right.
Because, you know, a lot of people don't have figures, like you said, somebody to teach them, somebody to guide them in the right direction. So for you to come on here and just talk about your experience in the past, you know, doing real time, dealing with the shit that you dealt with, you know, hopefully somebody can listen to that and be like, well, fuck, if that's what he went through, I'm not trying to go through the same shit. You know what I mean?
That's another thing. When I get time, I'm going to work on it. I came up with an idea. It's going to be a nonprofit organization called the Ex-Felon Business Alliance. You go to jail, you get out, you want to educate yourself on business, we're going to build a platform for that.
Okay.
So people can actually get education from other people who's been successful as ex-felons.
That's amazing because, I mean, I feel like once you come out of prison, obviously there's like a stamp on you, right? Nobody want to work with you,
100%.
right? People think that once you're a criminal, always a criminal, right? So I think to create something like that where you can help people who are trying to fix their past and trying to get in the right, you know, direction, that's amazing. So, you know, I hope you do go through with that because that can help a lot of people, man.
Yeah, no doubt.
Well, thank you, sir, for coming on to the Man Cave podcast. Co-host George, you were a pleasure to work with as always.
Oh, man, thank you. I mean, we got Uncle Jack here to make everything better, right?
Yeah.
Thank you for that again, man.
I salute.
Look,
man,
no properties. We're going to try to sign off. I appreciate everybody who came on, listened to the podcast. I think this was a good one.
Yes, sir.
So appreciate you again. Say goodbye. Wave to the camera.
They see me?
They gonna see you.
They gonna see me?
They gonna see you.
Make sure they see me, man.
You right there in the middle. They don't see you. They got fucking problems.
Okay, my man.
Anyway, I'll catch you guys in the next
man.
one.
Peace.
Peace.